Hi and hello everyone, welcome back to English Education Adda. Today we'll learn contraction do, does plus not. So I hope you are ready. But before starting, if you are new on this channel, kindly subscribe, like and share, right? So obviously we should start. As you're looking that this is the form, this contraction I do, I don't, right? Everybody says that we do, we don't. Everybody knows, I know that. But with correct pronunciation, you have to make practice. If you want to get good pronunciation, obviously you have to make practice. So let's start. Just we should cooperate me, right? So let's go. I do, not I do, I don't, I do, I don't, we do, we don't, you do, you don't, he does, he doesn't, he does, he doesn't, she does, she doesn't, it does, it doesn't, they do, they don't, they do, they don't, these do, these don't, these do, these don't, those do, those don't, right? But see this, if you speak at a time without taking rest, obviously we should speak, right? So now we should start. I do, I don't, we do, we don't, you do, you don't, he does, he doesn't, she does, she doesn't, it does, it doesn't, they do, they don't, these do, these don't, those do, those don't, right? Everyday life we speak present indifference. Many times we do every work, every types of work we do, and just for the example, we do housework. We go somewhere, the just we using. We don't go there, just using. So with the help of contraction, we can speak. So now this is first of all we should learn how to convert in 6 sentences. That's also important because it will help you to gain fluency, right? So first of all, I do, I don't. So I do this work, I don't do this work, right? But with 6 forms, how can you speak? In 6 sentences, how can you speak? So I do this work, I don't do this work, do I do this work, do I not do this work, when do I do this work, when do I not do this work, right? Obviously that you can speak. Now next, we do, we do, we don't, right? We do our work, we don't do our work. We do our work, we don't do our work. Do we do our work? Do we not do our work? When do we do our work? When do we not do our work? Right? So now you made practice like that, right? Now next, you do, you don't. You do your work, you don't do your work. But in 6 sentences at a time, how can you speak? You do your work, you don't do your work. Do you do your work? Do you not do your work? Do you not do your work? When do you do work? Yeah, where do you do your work? Where do you not do your work? Right? So now next, he does, he doesn't. Now it's the third form there. He does, he doesn't. He is the third form, right? And there's in the first person, he. So now this with contraction, he does, because special auxiliary verb, modal auxiliary verb has applied for this, right? So he does, he doesn't. So he does this work, he doesn't do this work. It's looking different. He does this work, he doesn't do this work. Why is do coming? Because when we use do does in sentences, obviously that principal form will be V1, right? So now he does, he doesn't. He does his work, he doesn't do his work. Does he do his work? Does he not do his work? How do he does do his work? How does he do not do his work, right? So now next, she does, she doesn't. She does, she doesn't, right? So she does her work, she doesn't do her work. Does she do her work? Does she not do her work? When does she do her work? When does she not do her work, right? Now it's a turn of 8, right? 8. It does its work. It does its work. It doesn't do its work. Does do it work? Does do it not work? When does do it work? When does do it not work? Right? Now, next, there's the turn of they. They means there. There are many persons there, right? So they do, they don't. They do, they don't. Right? So they do their work. They do their work. They don't do their work. So they do their work, they don't do their work. Right? So in 6 forms at a time, they do their work, they don't do their work, do their work, do they do their work, when do they do their work, when do they do not do their work. Right? It's really difficult because 2 times do we are applying. Right? There's a first is a helping verb, a second is a action work. Right? So there is a do, one is applying this, that's a helping verb, another one do is there, is the principal verb. Right? Even there is a helping verb arrow made from principal verb, but at a time when you apply 2 times do, obviously that it's a miracle, it's looking difficult, and you can really face the problem. But when you face the problem, you get lots of things. Right? So obviously that now these problems, now the turn of these. Right? These do do their work, because there are many people, these. Right? So these do their work, these don't do their work. Do these do their work, do these not do their work, when do these do their work, when do these do not do their work. Right? So now the turn of those, now this is these, and now the next is those. Right? Those, there are many. Right? So those do their work, those don't do their work, do those do those do their work, do those do not their work, when do those do their work, when do those do not their work. Right? So I hope you learned so many things, and you should learn like this, and if you do that, English will be in your hand. And of course, forthcoming days you'll speak lots of things, and I will also have you with you, because you will also speak with us. Right? So just say this, we'll meet you to next